So welcome to this first movement class of November. And I decided that the theme of the month is mortality, being immortal. And, you know, we do these meditations and these movement practices, these stillness and movement practices that I have studied in a few different traditions, yoga predominantly, but also Qigong and Tai Chi. And also for me, artistic traditions of dance and theatrical movement. And I was thinking about how all of these different disciplines and lineages that I belong to, they're really teaching us how to experience a kind of immortality through our mortality, how to really embrace the actual real space and time limitations of this physical body, how to really experience and explore all the different ways that our bodies can move, and when we meditate, how all the different ways our consciousness can move. And as we kind of experience those boundaries and limitations that are very real for humans, which are all born and all die, through that experience and through totally accepting that part of us, we can have these little tastes of what it is that we are that is not bound by birth and death, what we might call awareness or consciousness. And I'm just going to share with you, then we'll move. We're going to share with you a little verse from the Upanishads. This is a translation by Eknath Easwaran. Anybody who's doing the History of Nothing course, we talked about that in last week's class. And here's a section that I wanted to share, but I didn't get a chance to, so I'm going to share it with you now. This is from the Chandogya Upanishad, ancient Indian text. In the city of Brahman is a secret dwelling, the lotus of the heart. Within this dwelling is a space, and within that space is the fulfillment of our desires. Never fear that old age will invade that city. Never fear that this inner treasure of reality will wither and decay. This knows no aging when the body ages. This knows no dying when the body dies. In between birth and death, we have to keep up this human body. It does require maintenance and care. And so we're going to do some movement right now that takes care of it. So we're going to begin rolling out with a ball. So if you have your massage ball handy, you could go ahead and get that. And we're actually going to roll out the hips. So we're going to do two areas in the kind of the sacrum, so outer hips and sacrum. The outer hip area I'm targeting is right here, sort of below the pointy bone, right, of your hip, right below that. Okay, and then just take a look here before you get started. You're going to roll out the top of the, sort of right above the glutes, the bottom of the sacrum. Okay, so you can come onto one side and see if you can find that spot there. Now, that might just be way too intense. And if that's the case, you find a wall or a door or some hard space that you can go against, and you do the same thing there. Now, make sure that your head's comfortable. You can prop it up however you like. And you can either just sort of let the weight drop and let the breath move right around the ball, or you could actually choose to move your hips a little bit over top of the ball. Take very deep breaths in and out of the space where you feel sensation. That's going to be our number one technique this whole class, no matter what we're doing. We're going to feel the sensation, which is the body giving us information. And we're going to go to that sensation with our breath. Stay with me here just a little longer. Taking really nice deep breaths. All right. And then you're simply going to move to the other side. And you can roll over. You shouldn't have to look at me for this once you know that you have it. So You can just turn on over. Take really deep breaths here on this side. This side's got its own thing going on. It's got its own story, its own information to share, its own needs. Flood this area with your breath. Light up this area with your awareness. Couple more breaths here, and then we're going to move on to the back. And once you come onto your back, you can just lift your hips up a little bit and slide that ball right under the sacrum. You can kind of experiment. We're going to do the two sides, right? Right and left side. So just pick one to start. And you can experiment with what feels good, which part of your sacrum feels good. And you could go up into the low back, but I'm really curious about how you can get into the sacrum itself. Okay, but feel around and then spend about another 30 seconds on this side. Deep breaths. The invitation to go to the wall is always there with the ball work. You never have to stay with it if it's too intense. It was just back off. After you finish the next exhale, go ahead and switch on over to the other side. Light up this area with awareness. Flood this area with healing breath. And what else are we doing? We're emptying this area, right? The exhale is like taking out the trash, right? Whatever stickiness that's been living in here, let it go on the exhales. Just about 20 more seconds on this side. Do your best to always breathe in through your nose. Breathing out through the mouth is fine, but try not to breathe in through the mouth unless you're doing some special breath work. And if you trust the teacher, okay? Nose is designed to take those inhales and filter things properly. All right. Now go ahead and put the ball off to the side. And take your arms and legs in the air. You're just going to roll out the hands, roll out the feet and the ankles. This human body needs to move to be healthy. Okay. Here we are showing up to honor this gift of a body. Then you can shake. I'm just going to shake. My floor is making little squeaks. Shake, shake, shake. Shake maybe a little bit more. Okay. Now we're going to do a little core exercise. It's also a leg stretching exercise. Grab a hold of your left leg and pull it toward you as the right leg descends toward the ground. So belly engaged, inner thighs working. Hover the right leg. Don't let it touch the ground. And then switch. So now the right leg comes up and I'm going to pull that toward me. And I'm going to let the left leg lower. And then I'm going to continue, right? And so find a pace that works for yourself. Find a way to link that somehow to the rhythm of your breath. Low belly is working in tandem with the inner thighs to create this core work, to make sure that this movement is graceful. You can lift up your head if you want, and your chest, or just keep your chin a little bit tucked if you do that to protect your neck. If you're pretty open, you could be grabbing closer toward the lower leg, but grabbing a hold of the back of the thigh also works just fine, but grabbing the lower leg will just mean more of a stretch in that leg. Keep going. Finish holding on to the right leg, the left leg lowering, that should be even. And then hug your knees into your chest, and you can circle the knees away and then back together. Up toward the chest, then away and back together, right? So you're making these kind of double circles, like mirrored circles of each other, okay? And then you could take those circles the other direction. Remember where we were rolling out earlier? See if you can kind of be massaging those spaces, checking those out. We're going to do one more core exercise here on the back before we come up. It's pretty simple, just crunches, but we'll do little twisty crunches. You'll extend the right leg as the right elbow, twist over toward the outside the left knee, right? Right leg extends and then switch. So now the right knee bends, the left leg extends, okay? And you're going to find a little pace for this, probably a little faster than the last one. But you can experiment. Breathing. And then try a little bit of a faster pace, but see if you can still keep the movement very clear. And then try a really slow pace. And then a fast pace. And then 10 more seconds at whatever pace you want. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now lay on your back and then just stretch the body as long as it'll go. So stretch your legs out long. You can interlace your fingers, reach the arms up, and just be like a cat, just trying to stretch as organically and simply and naturally as possible, stretching out the abs, the fronts of the hips. Okay, and then let's go ahead and come up to sit, and then take a reverse tabletop. Hands behind you, feet in front, the hips lift up in line with your heart and your knees. You could look up toward the ceiling, or some folks can drop the head back without that feeling too funky. 3 more big breaths, nice full breath. And now you might want to start doing Ujjayi breath. So breath with a little aspiration and sound in the throat. And then go ahead and come to sit. You're going to take a Baddha Konasana shape with the legs, soles of the feet together, knees apart. And first, we're actually going to do a little heart opener here. You're just going to lift up through the chest here. Okay, and then we're going to do a little side stretch. So you can put one arm out to the side, and then you're going to reach the opposite arm alongside your ear. Now, as you do this, can you really let that left knee sink toward the ground? And notice where you feel this stretch. Take deep breaths in and out of where you feel this stretch. And then switch sides. Big breath, root your heels together, drop the right knee toward the planet. Reach through the right arm. Send the breath, meet those sensations with your breath, your awareness, your care. All right, and then come on back up to center. Make your way into a downward facing dog on your yoga. Spend a few breaths just kind of checking in with the downward dog shape. What information did it reveal, right? What sensations is the body sending up now that you've put it in this shape? Meet all those sensations with your breath, your awareness, your care. I know I feel cared for when somebody says, I'm listening, I'm listening. Okay, we're gonna come forward into plank pose and take a moment here. Now remember the muscles that we were activating earlier when we were doing some of that core work. So low belly, inner thighs. You really light up your inner thighs, and you also light up sort of the backs of your legs, your hamstrings, your calves. Let the chest be broadened open. Let the heart actually kind of sink toward the ground a little bit more, but the belly lifts up away from the ground. So that low belly is working with the legs. Big breath in, and the arms, right? Push your hands into the ground. Big breath in, and then downward dog. Lift the hips up and back again. Lift up your left leg. Take a big inhale. Drop your right heel towards the planet. Then you can open that hip and bend the knee if that feels yummy to you. 2 breath cycles here just to experience this. The right heel continuing to drop down deeper toward the planet. That left hip yearning up toward the sky in opposition. And then go ahead and straighten the legs, square off your hips. And then round your left knee toward your nose. So shoulders come forward over your wrists. But can you get up into your right tip to really looks like you're elevating here. And then again, inhale, lift the left leg up. Let's try that. Just like that 2 more times. Exhale, you're coming forward, the knee rounds forward, your shoulders over your wrists. And can you feel everything sort of lighting up? Okay. And then 1 more time, the leg lifts. And then it comes forward. Good. And then just go ahead and step the left foot forward. Step the right foot forward. Lift your heart. Then fold down into your legs. Big breath out. Now, can you keep your breath out and round up to stand? Once you get to the top, raise your arms, take a big breath in. And exhale, hands just drop down to the heart. Your chin drops down so your gaze is steady on the horizon. Inhale again, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine and look forward and bend your knees. Now, if you want to jump back, you could jump back. Otherwise, you could just step back. You could lower chaturanga, or you could lower knees, chest, chin to the earth. As you inhale, either cobra or upward dog. And as you exhale, downward. Stay here for a whole breath cycle, planting your hands and your feet down into the planet, lifting your hips up to the sky. And then lift your right leg up and back. Big breath in. As you exhale, either just stay in that same shape or open the hip, bending the right knee. Reaching that right hip up toward the sky, dropping the left heel toward the planet, and meet all of this sensation with breath. You notice all the different places in the body that are sending you information. Can you meet them? And then inhale, square off the hips and straighten that right leg and reach it up to the sky. Exhale, round your right knee forward. And can you kind of come up to your tiptoes? Can you feel your low belly pulling up to the ceiling? And then again, inhale, reach and lift the leg way up high. Exhale, round the knee forward, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, reach the leg up, back high. Exhale, round it forward. Then step it forward lightly as you can. Left foot meets the right, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, fold into your legs. And again, we're going to round up. If you can keep the exhale out, do it. If that is not comfortable, don't do it. But see if you can just round, nice and slow. And then when you arrive at the top, spread your wings, reach your arms up high. Reach up. And then exhale, hands to prayer in front of your I'm just going to adjust my screen a teensy bit here. You can stand there with your hands at your heart for a moment. Maybe close the eyes. In the center of your heart. This comes up in all of these spiritual teachings, like the one that I read earlier. That Brahman or God or the divine lives in the heart of every creature. And by us coming back to our practice, we build a relationship with that part of ourselves. Take a moment to dedicate this class to something that your heart really cares about. All right, now we're going to do moon salutes. So for these, you hook your thumbs, reach your arms forward and up, stretch the front body. You got to keep that belly engaged, right? Inner thighs working so that there's a strong support. You can keep breathing here, okay? So there's a strong support as you get longer through the spine, and then if there's any space to, you lean into it. But if your spine is contracted, if there's not space, don't lean back very much, right? Now, bend your knees, let the arms fall apart and drop forward, right? The hands are separate now, and then they come and join again behind you, fingers interlaced. Now, once you get that, you can start to straighten the legs, and a lot of folks won't straighten the legs all the way. That's fine. And you straighten them by really lifting your hips up, putting a little more weight forward to the fronts of your feet. You can shake out your head a little bit here. Just take a couple breaths in and out of your shoulders. Your sacrum may also be getting a nice stretch. Whatever is getting a stretch, send a breath. Finish and exhale. Then inhale, skier's pose. So you're going to sit sit back like you're sitting in a chair kind of, but these fingers stay interlaced behind your back. Then step your left foot back and lower the left knee to the ground. And if you need help with that, you put your hands on the ground or blocks on your way, okay? Lower that knee, and then if your low back feels supported, belly engaged, hook your thumbs and reach up here. As you exhale, just place the hands on the ground and find your way to low lunge. Can you align a nice low lunge? Right knee directly over your right ankle. And then right arm to the sky. Let's take 5 breaths and a little twist. Breathe in 1. Breathe 2. Can you feel the heel going back, the head going forward, the belly engaged? How long can you make the shape? And then it's once we're long, then we lean back into the twist. Last breath in and out. Now put your hands on the ground. You could go right back to downward dog or even a child's pose, or you could step back to plank, take a vinyasa. Chaturanga, up dog, or modified variations of those. And then we all meet in downward dog. Taking a big inhale and exhale. And again, if you're doing Ujjayi breath, man, it's a really great practice, and it's going to just really make this whole experience, it's like it amplifies the healing benefits of everything else. You're already putting in the time and the energy. If you use that extra little technique, it just really helps clean out the body. Also can really help focus the mind. Okay, you're gonna look forward. You could step or you could lightly hop your way forward to the front of the mat, then lengthen the spine, fold into the legs, breathe out. Bend your knees, hook your thumbs, and reach the arms straight forward and then up. As the legs straighten, you come all the way up and look up. And then bend the knees, swoop the arms behind you, interlace the fingers, then straighten the legs. Finish that exhale. Skier's pose. As you inhale, lift the chest, look a little forward, the butt sits back, the arms reach back, then right foot steps back. The right knee lowers gently to the ground. Use your hands or blocks for support as you need. You can keep the hands down or now hook thumbs, reach up, inhale. As you exhale, take the hands back down to the ground. Use your eyes to find your alignment for a low lunge. You really want to make the nice architecture here with that front knee over the ankle, then the left arm lifts. And you breathe for 1. Nice deep breaths, 2. Feel how all this core work we did is supporting you here. Call on it. Big breath, 4. Long back of neck, long heel reaching behind you, 5. Then the left hand comes down, you step back to plank, take a vinyasa, and meet in down dog. Where's the breath? Can you hear and feel your breath? The body has limitations, and actually that's great. That's important. The breath is the length of time, right, that we want to start to match the movement to, right? We're letting the body lead. We're letting nature show us, and we follow. Meeting the best aspects of ourselves along the way. Look forward, step or hop the feet forward. Lengthen your spine and breathe in. Fold into your legs, breathe all the way out, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Bend your knees, hook your thumbs in front, straight arms, reach up, then straight legs, open heart, look up. And go right back in. Bend the knees, belly on thighs, interlace fingers behind your back, then straight legs. Skiers pose as you breathe in. Looking forward, left foot steps back. Lower the left knee gently. Use your core. Maybe you hook thumbs and reach up. Hands down as you set up a nice low lunge, twist. Right arm up. Now, warrior two from here. An interesting transition. Spin that back heel down. Really feel the feet on the floor. And then rise all the way up to a Virabhadrasana 2. Gaze over your right fingers. Breathe here for 1. Deep breath. 2. Feel the feet pressing into the ground. The feet kind of reaching away from one another. Feel a lift coming up through the arches of your feet, up through your pelvic floor. Hear your Ujjayi breath. 4. 5. Now reverse warrior. Sit back, the right arm comes up. Stretch through that right side. Now straighten your right leg, parallel your feet to bring the spine back up. And then you're gonna pat your upper back with that right hand. I'll show you from this way, and then I'm gonna meet with the left hand. So gomakasana bind. Grab a belt or a strap if you need. Lift up through the chest and then fold. Fold forward. This is going to get more interesting. You're going to get more sensation. You may need to separate the hands a little further apart on the strap if the sensation is too much, or just do a different arm variation. Of course, that's fine, okay? But if you can be here and this is working for you, take 4 more deep breaths. Where's the sensation? It's calling to you. Give it your attention. Give it your breath. This is how you care for this gift on loan of a human body. Okay, we're going to come up nice and slow. And then you're just going to let that left arm go drag down the spine before you release it, okay? That can just help make sure that you don't do anything funky on the way out. And you may want to just kind of let that arm open and close a couple times, right? Just you checking that rotation out, be gentle. The right arm, it matters a little bit less. It can just kind of come up and down and away. Triangle facing the front of your mat again. Right toes face forward, left foot out a little angle. Reach, reach, reach through the arms as you press down through the feet. And then right hand connects to your shin or maybe a block or maybe the big toe if you practice that way. Breathe 1. Nice deep breaths. 2. Breathe. 3. 4. And 5. Now take the left arm alongside your ear. And this is going to get a little challenging. Really engage your belly. Take your right arm alongside your right ear. Whew. Now you're going to come to free lunge. So you're going to unrotate yourself, rotate your chest toward the ground now. Okay. And then go ahead and take, and the arms are forward, right? That's some work. We'll revisit that a little later. For now, you could take yourself through a vinyasa or just go to downward dog or to a child's pose. Nice deep breaths. Nice deep breaths. You're going to look forward, step or hop your feet forward. Then lengthen the spine and fold down into the legs. Hook your thumbs, bend your knees, reach the arms forward and up, then straighten the legs at the top and stretch your heart and your belly. Exhale, you're going to bend the knees, belly on thighs, then interlace fingers behind your back, then straighten the legs. You're in this nice forward fold with the arms up. And then skier's pose, and the arms go back, the chest comes forward, and then the right foot steps back. Right knee lowers gently. Then hook thumbs, reach up if that's part of your sequence. Otherwise, hands stay down and you just kind of lift your chest, yeah? Find low lunge. And then raising the left arm, find that twist. Just kind of finish an inhale here. And then warrior two. Spin the back heel down, plant down through your feet. Nice, wide, long stance. It's for 5 breaths. Gaze over your left fingers for 1. All this is temporary, right? Which can be scary sometimes, and other times it's just pretty nice, right? Okay, this is just temporary. Breathe. 3. Okay, I can get through 5 breaths of just about anything. Breathe. 4. Can you be really present and aware as you're here? Last breath cycle. 5. Now reverse warrior. Left hand comes up and over. All right, and then you're gonna parallel your feet. You're gonna tap your upper back with that hand, that left hand, sorry, and then the right thumb spins around so that you can take this bind. Lift up through the heart, and then hinge at your hips and fold it on forward. Check in, this can be intense, modify as you need. Take your nice, deep, full breaths and send the breath to the place that has the sensation. Beautiful work. Let's stay here for a couple more breaths. I use my right arm because it's my dominant side, more than my left. So when I practice on my own, I often actually spend a little more time on this side. It does more work, so it gets a little more, of this kind of maintenance. And then come up really nice and slow. Plant your feet, core is engaged. Now it's the right hand, the bottom hand, that just you want to be really soft and gentle. Just let it fall down your back, let it organically come off to the side. And then you can just kind of spin the palm forward and then back a couple times and just check out that everything feels like it's working nicely in there. The left hand can just come down. Triangle pose facing the front of your mat. Plant the feet, reach through the left arm, then connect. Left hand to the shin or a block. Nice deep breaths for 1. Breathe. 2. Ujjayi breath. 3. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, in. Out. Right arm alongside your right ear. And left arm alongside the left ear. Woo! And then bend the left knee, spin off the back heel, and pivot your chest to face the floor. Free lunge, reach the heel back, the arms forward. And then place the hands on the ground. Take a vinyasa if you'd like. Meet me in downward dog or child's pose. One big breath cycle here, all together. Now take an inhale. With the exhale, you're going to either step or hop forward. Arrive, fill your lungs with air as you look forward, and then fold down into the legs. Wonderful. Hook thumbs, bend your knees, reach all the way up, big breath in. And then big breath out as you come forward again. We're going to do one more round. Interlace the fingers behind your back, drop your head. Inhale, skier's pose, look forward. Exhale, step your left foot back and lower the knee. Inhale, hook thumbs and reach up. Really find the rhythm for this, following the pattern of breath. Hands down, low lunge as you breathe out. Twist, right, raise the right arm as you breathe in. Warrior two as you breathe out. Coming all the way up. Reverse warrior as you breathe in. Good. As you exhale, we're going to start to come right forward to triangle. We're going to skip the little gomakasana thing for now, so we can stay fluid. And then left arm alongside the left ear, right arm alongside the right, and then come to that free lunge. And this time we're going to hold it, okay? So for this, you want your arms forward alongside your ears, your back heel back. Now the right knee, instead of it being directly over the ankle, back it up a little bit. Yeah, and you should feel your right hamstrings fire up. We love that. It's really important areas to get strong. I'm with you. I'm breathing with you. For 3. Let yourself sweat and work a little bit. And everything ends. 4. This is almost over. Can you be totally present for 1 breath? 5. Now, hands to the ground. Standing split. Pick up the back leg. Lift up your chest for a moment to prepare. And then drop your chest and your head toward the right shin. The left leg reaches up toward the sky. Listen to yourself breathe. 2. Breathe. 3. Breathe. 4. Breathe. 5. All right, this time you're just going to step the left foot next to the right. Bend your knees, hook thumbs, reach up, breathe in. Exhale, bend your knees, belly on your thighs as your fingers interlace behind your back. Then straight legs drop head. Inhale, skiers pose, sit your butt back, reach your heart, eyes forward. Right foot steps back, gently lower the knee. Hook thumbs, inhale, reach up and away. Exhale, the hands come down, low lunge, set up your architecture, then left arm lifts, breathing in. Breathing out, transition to warrior 2. Take that whole exhale to transition. No rush. Inhale, reverse warrior. Then straighten the front leg, set up for triangle pose. Reach way forward through the left arm, right fingers reach to the sky. Then the right arm comes alongside your ear. Your left arm comes alongside its ear. And then you spin the chest toward the ground and set up free lunge. Yeah. Front knee, left knee, so left knee backs up a little bit. Different angle than a normal lunge. And that'll fire up those left hamstrings and making them nice and strong. 2. Hear your ujjayi breath. Call on that. 3. 4. And 5. Awesome work. Hands on the ground. Should be nice and warm now. Lift up your right leg and your chest. And then let the chest and head fall to the ground as the right leg reaches up higher behind you. 1. 2. Ujjayi breath. Sending the breath to the places that need it most. Breathe. 4. And 5. Beautiful work. Step your right foot next to your left. Hook thumbs, inhale, reach up. Then this time actually just meet your hands together, bring them down in front of your heart and stand clear and tall. Close your eyes and return into that beautiful dwelling inside the center of your heart. Feel really good that you showed up to do this practice today or tonight. That you listen to the heart, you listen to the breath, and it brought you here. Reach up one last time and fold forward one last time. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Somebody might choose to jump back, somebody might choose to step back or meet in a downward dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up high, like we did at the beginning of class. Exhale, round the knee forward like we did, but now hover for a moment, get a little lighter on your right toes, and then lower the left knee and let's take a pigeon. We're gonna hold this pigeon pose for about 2 minutes. So good idea to support yourself with props as you need. I would love for you to really be set up with a true pigeon with the left outer thigh parallel with the side of your mat, right? So if it's, unless you're doing some special version and you know it, try to set that up, and that might mean a prop under your left hip. You might want something to come forward onto, like a block or a pillow or something, or maybe just your hands. And then you're going to stay here and start to take these really deep breaths. Wherever the sensation is, go there. Travel to that space in your embodied awareness. This gift is temporary. It needs our attention now, not later. So be in the now in this body. You can still be doing the dry breath, though, you know, you may find that it wants to be a little gentler and quieter now. Follow that instinct if you'd like. Now, in these last moments, last few breaths, you might want to make some sound. I love like humming when I'm in this pose and just vibrating that space. So if you want to do that with me, you can take a big breath in, and then you can do a deep, low hum. You can do that again, or just breathe. Finish and exhale. Let an inhale bring you all the way back up. Make your way to downward dog. Feel how that core work you were doing made you a little, makes all the movement a little lighter and more graceful. Right leg lifts to the sky now. Exhale, round that right knee forward and take a little moment and hover and get onto the tips of your left big toes, and then right knee lowers. And we're going to take all this time to set it up nicely, to use our props as we need to. And then once we're all nice and set up, we'll come forward and rest our head gently down on something that feels comfortable. Sorry about some of the background noise tonight. I love having my windows open, but some nights it's just too noisy in the neighborhood. You may or may not be able to hear a train in the distance right now. Really settle into your embodied experience. Surrender. Let this be where you live right now. All the sensation, your whole job is just to go and meet that, to see it, to feel it, to hear it, to embrace it with breath and care and awareness. Now this is the part where you might choose to hum a deep low hum. And seeing if you can just kind of vibrate that space open a little more with that gentle inner vibration. Finish and exhale. Inhale your way back up gently. And now you could take a vinyasa here if you want, but we're just basically going to come and do a little bit of forward folding next. So set yourself up for Janusirsasana. Left leg can extend, right knee bends. This right foot is touching my left inner thigh. And there's a little mini twist that happens here so that your heart faces those left toes. There's lengthening. And then once we're long, that's when we move forward into it. Stay here. You could rest the head on that shin. Breathe deep breaths. Can you feel your breath? Can you hear your breath? Can you follow one more breath cycle for this pose? And then coming up and switch. So now the left foot goes to the inside of the right thigh. Again, get this little twist moment, lift your chest, and then fold. And breathe for 1, 3, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One up to sit. Just some couple closing postures here, okay? Wheel pose or bridge. Okay, if you want to do full wheel, hands alongside your ears, and you'll come all the way up. Otherwise, just bridge, just lift up your hips. You could even do restorative bridge with the block under your sacrum. Breathing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to lower down nice and gently. And you can hug your knees into your chest. Shoulder stand, or if there's another inversion that you really want to do tonight, that's fine. The simplest inversion, you could just put your legs up in the air and just rest like this. That feels really nice with a bolster under your sacrum. It feels really nice with your legs up against a wall. I'll go ahead and take a full shoulder stand myself, but you can go ahead and set up for whatever you like. Some people really benefit from a couple of blankets under their upper back and shoulder stand. As always with these classes, whether you're watching by video or you do it live, you can always ask me afterwards for little pointers, and I can give them to you or create a little video for you, okay? So just ask. For now, be where you are. Let's come back into this body. Let's notice the sensations it's giving us and meet them with our breath and care and awareness. A few more breaths here if you can, okay? Just be totally present. For me, at least, knowing that something has an ending helps me. It helps me be totally present for it. I don't want to miss it. And then bring your legs up overhead. Plow pose. Unless you're doing a different inversion, in which case this, this is really just goes with shoulder stand, but a couple breaths here. Notice the sensations, meet them with your breath. Then come down nice and slowly and come into Shavasana, or if you prefer, to some other restorative pose. And these short online classes, I just do a couple of minutes of Shavasana, but really, a long Shavasana is a beautiful thing. And so I do also encourage you, if you have the time and you're able, to stay a little longer after the class if you want. But for now, let's rest down into this moment, this experience. Corpse pose, it's in every single yoga class. This reminder that we don't wear this form forever. And as long as we're in line with all of the teachings, meaning we're not trying to fight off death and its truth and its beauty and its importance, but instead embracing it, it means that we feel empowered and called to love even more deeply in this lifetime. We don't take it for granted anymore. And this is why they say by embracing death, we finally get to live. Feel a sense of gratitude flowing through your body now. You may even choose to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you to the different parts of your body. Rest even more deeply. The deeper you relax, the greater a gift that you give to this body. So if you want to keep resting, you can keep resting. But when you are ready to rise, make sure that you take a little moment to sit and return to the center of your heart. Remember to say thank you.